Man, probably a fun fact on me is that I
You
like to
don't?
read. I like to read. That's a lost art nowadays. Oh, my great uncle is Jesse Owens. He won 4 gold medals in 1936.
Yeah. I always want to leave people with this, man, to all the viewers and everybody out there, man. Make sure you guys finish your story. Make sure you guys finish your journey because somebody's going to need it.
Yeah. All you gotta do is push the back button. That's all you gotta do. Push the back signal.
Try not to think about the future too much so you can maximize the now.
Who's your favorite rap artist?
Man, to be honest, it's crazy. Tupac always been my number one, right? Like he got me through so much stuff, but Lil Wayne has been in the modern day.
I said, what does it really take? What does it really take to be great, Drew? And he looked at me and he was like, you really want to know? And he was like, to be honest, everything you did to get here, you need to be consistent times 10.
Hey, it's your dude, Uncle Leroy. Don't say the Leroy without the Julian. I am live from STWS Studios here in Arlington, Texas. And it's Monday. And it's the O.T.S.B.S show, the show where we talk about all the bull sniggity in sports. But, we down one guy. But, you know what I'm saying? We still got my guy to the place where they make the home of the Boston Baked Bean. What's Sam?
What's good with it? What's good with it? Happy Monday to everybody. Hope everybody's getting to it.
Yeah. I see that, man. I like this energy. You came in just ready, like, hey, let's get into it. But, it's Monday, man. So how's your Monday going?
Monday's going good. Can't complain about it. For the beginning of the week, I'll take it.
Facts. But, I definitely got to say, apologize to everyone. We running a little late, of course, because of me. I'm going to blame it on technical difficulties. That's what I'm saying. So, it was technical difficulties that definitely got us going late. But we're here. So, I'm saying? This is that point of the show where we got to have our city check-in. So let's light up this chat. You know what I'm saying? Let's get our city check-in. Let's see who tapped in with us, man. Let's see. Hey. Let's see. All right, let's tap in, man. Let's see. We got Dallas in the building, Triple D.
Shout out to
you hear me? Drop y'all city for
home of the Cowboys. Drop you guys out.
All right, let's end with that. But, man, let's get this thing started. We got Triple D repping in the building, man. Definitely see y'all tapped in. We appreciate that. But, man, so, my Monday, it started a little hectic, but we got some good news. Definitely those that's tapped in early to our stream, we're working on Peter Guns. We definitely going to have an interview coming up with him. He should be tapped in and coming into our studio soon. So, y'all keep up with us for the details. We got New York's own, and he's Triple D's finest, man. He was the host of Cheaters. So definitely y'all tap in with us so y'all keep us posted. All right, we got Clarksville, Tennessee.
Okay.
Man, the only thing I know in Tennessee is textiles, man. Like, they make cotton and more cotton out there in Tennessee. But appreciate you, fam, for tapping in with us way out there in Clarksville, Tennessee. But all right, man. So the first thing we got, we got fame versus privacy. So in the news lately, Kobe Bryant, his wife, I forget her name. What's Kobe Bryant's wife's name?
Vanessa. Shout out to the Bryants.
Yes, Vanessa. She's very nice looking. But shout out to Vanessa Bryant. The widow of Kobe Bryant leaves a federal courthouse Wednesday, August 10th. Kobe Bryant widow is taking her lawsuit against the Louisiana. I'm so used to saying that, against the Los Angeles County Sheriff's and Fire Department to federal jury, seeking compensation for photos deputies shared of the remains of the NBA star and his daughter and 7 others killed in a helicopter crash in 2020. All right, so let's take a quick look.
The preliminary report from the N.T.S.B. just in tonight and what we've now learned. Here's Adrian Bankert.
Tonight, the new report on the crash that killed Kobe Bryant, his 13-year-old daughter Gianna, and 7 others, including their pilot, who in their final moments told air traffic control they were climbing to 4,000 feet. But in reality, they were falling, according to the NTSB, evidence that the veteran pilot may have been disoriented in the fog. This and other details part of more than 1,000 pages of communications now made public, including text messages sent from the pilot O.T.S.B.S, one of Bryant's preferred pilots. The report outlines that those who flew for the NBA champion had to be thoroughly vetted and on an approved list of pilots, and that the aircraft was required to be a dual-engine helicopter. Leading up to the flight, employees with OC Helicopter and Kobe's driver talked about weather and logistics. The night before,
So, what Kobe's wife, Vanessa, what her claim is that, they were insensitive, about posting the pictures about that. So, what do you think about that?
Coming from the wife of Kobe Bryant, I would feel some type of way too. They have my husband's, photos up, barely the family doesn't have even access to those photos in the nature. But we're in the world of non-privacy now, in the world of social media, and whoever gets their hands on it first is going to be the first one to dab it all up. It's what the guy that was told to just take pictures on the scene was doing. He was basically saying he was investigating Kobe Bryant. He's taking pictures of a crash which involved Kobe Bryant, an NBA star, his daughter, and everybody else. So it doesn't click positively in the minds of a lot of people, because who would do such a thing? But in this world of non-privacy, it was never going to be private all the way.
That is true. So, now finish.
Yeah, and it just sucks what you can do to up your fame by showing those pictures to others. You know what I'm saying? And just having them along where you expect some privacy for certain people, but in this world, you don't get that. It's terrible.
Yeah. So, one thing here. So, let me just say a little something here. So, all right, let me get there. So what it was talking about, so Johnson had arrived at a chaotic scene around 11 a.m. with instructions by 11:24 a.m. A TMZ alert shared that Kobe and Gianna Bryant may have been amongst the victims at the crash site. So, it's funny because I actually remember breaking this news out to the group. And it was funny because, when I first posted in the group, everyone was like, no, that's a lie. No one wanted to believe it, and shout out to Facebook user. He says, they say everyone wants to be first to break news. Exactly, because that's how you get all your views. And we were one of the first people, because shout out to TMZ, we subscribed to TMZ, and they were the first people, the first news media, the first media outlet that actually broke the news of his crash. And what I think, was jacked up about it, because they had so many different type of memes, GIFs, and videos of the crash site. Like, I remember that they had one video where it was like a meteor came out of the sky, and they said that was the crash of Kobe Bryant. So, in that regard, I mean, it's like you said, when you're famous like that, you're always on the spotlight. Everyone wants, everyone's spotlighting your life, spotlighting your life. So do you think that they're wrong for, do you think she actually, well, let me ask this. Do you think Vanessa Bryant has a case?
She's a celebrity and all that. She's going to make her case. And we all know in America, when you have big ass, a Bryant, you're gonna get the court to take the case in. Now, Val, she has a case. Yeah, she has a case. That's her husband. That's somebody who she spent her whole life with. That's somebody who she feels like, for what he's did in this world, should have some privacy. She has a case. But then, on the other side, you have this man that, and it's crazy to say this, but, super fandom, or just being crazy, or just being a guy that just like, hey, nobody's going to say nothing about this, to disperse those pictures out to the media, potentially TMZ probably gave him some big bank when they got the story. They probably got the story from him.
I mean, but honestly, once they did that, they had people take that down, because, they had to get it verified, and that was a big thing that Facebook was actually hitting people for because it was not verified. And I think that's when they actually reached out to Vanessa, because I think, honestly, before names were released to the papers or different type of, personal information, they actually reach out to the family. They notify the family first. So, for TMZ to actually go out there and just post it without, reaching out to Vanessa Bryant, I do believe she has a case on that regard right there, because you got to reach out to the family first and be like, hey, notify the family, hey, this is such and such. Can you confirm, hey, this is your loved one or your friend? And then after that, they put it in the media. So, I think that there never been that post where it was like, hey, you know what, there was a crash and there was some unconfirmed bodies. It immediately came out that, hey, Kobe Bryant and 7 and 6 other people were in a plane and they went down. And it was saying like, oh, it was expected that his daughter was on there. And I think that's where the conspiracy theory started coming in at.
Absolutely. He started coming in with his daughter and all that stuff. It was just a spooky day to me in general. Like you said, you're hearing all the unverified information. People are saying, oh, it's true. Some people saying it's a hoax. You know what I'm saying? It was just a whole spur of things that happened. And then you just hear later on the day that it was him indeed. And they have these pictures. And you know what the crazy thing is about this? They go on the court for this. You would think some point that they would have these pictures not on the internet. Well, these pictures are on the internet for anybody to see.
But that's how everything is. That's how everything is.
But it was funny to me that there was no pictures up into this court case. Like now, this court case is going on and all this and that, and the trial's coming up. And I mean, I know there's pictures. I didn't look at them. It took me about almost a year just to look at Kobe Bryant highlights. That's my favorite player. So to look at anything in that aspect where they show where his body parts are detached, you know what I'm saying, what came off his body in the crash, it's a terrible thing to see for anybody.
Facts. I mean, it hurts my heart to see, my kids get a Bobo. You know what I'm saying? So just to imagine that she had to see, these gruesome pictures, that was put out there in the media first. Like I said, there was so many people that were insensitive about the whole situation. They had people, just making videos that weren't even anything that, was about the crash. So, I was a little jacked up. And, this is the O.T.S.B.S show. And so on the O.T.S.B.S show, we call it like it is. And I think that is some old-time bull. Hey, man, I tell you, that makes me laugh every time, man. That brightens up my day. Like I'm telling you. So I do appreciate that. But, man, we got to pay some bills. We're going to be right back. Definitely. Y'all love, I can't get it out. Y'all light up this chat for it. Let us know who tapped in. We'll be back with more.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Gritty checking in. This Friday I'm live with STWF Media, man. Little interview coming soon with everybody. Y'all tune in. And we got some big coming. Let's get it.
We'll back at it.
Yes, sir. We back with more of the O.T.S.B.S show, man. Shout out to my guy Gritty, man. Tell our guy Gritty, man. Y'all check out his interview. He's on our channel on YouTube. But I just found out he's on Madden 23. Have you? You're not even a Madden. You're not even a gamer.
No, I'm not a gamer. I'm sorry. I haven't played video games since I don't know how it. But it's good to see that the young boys getting paid for his services. You know what I'm saying, by the NFL to have his dance in the game. I know he got some type of bag for that. He's not going to allow the NFL to just put his dance on there. So shout out to him. Shout out to the EA franchise. Shout out to Madden, man. All these years, man, Madden's still a hit name coming out during the summer. Sometimes it's more important than the regular season. In some places when this game comes out, I feel.
Facts. But I'm definitely like for real, shout out to Matt because I'm just telling my age here. I remember when there weren't celebrations done on the game. So you know what? I remember when they first started doing celebrations. So to actually through the years to be able to see the game when there weren't end zone celebrations to now where we know a guy whose dance is on there, man. That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely give a shout out to Gritty and everybody, EA Sports and everybody that actually got the game, man. It came out today, so I got to get my game up.
Nice.
All right, so that leads us to what we got up next. Let's see what we got here. So our next topic is competitive advantage. All right, say you would say this a high school locker room. I would say this that's a shitty high school, Miami Heat. Sharpshooter says the Boston Celtics arena is the worst away locker room. He believes it's on purpose. So the Boston Celtics have always been known for their home court advantage. Miami Heat wing Duncan Robinson believes it's more than just the fans in the stands making an impact. On his Long Shot podcast, Robinson asked Milwaukee Bucks guard Pat, I won't even try his name. What is his name?
Pat Connaughton.
Ah, okay. I see you read in high school. Pat Connaughton about how much worse the visiting team's locker rooms are. Both easily said that Boston's visitors' locker room is the worst in the league. So what do you think about that? You being our resident Bostonian.
This is
Have
just
you ever been to
another.
the? Have you ever been to there? Like, have you been to the what is it, Madison Square? No, what is it?
I've been to the TD Garden. I've been to the TD Garden,
Right.
formerly known as the Boston Garden. And this is one thing I'm gonna say about all these arenas here in New England. They try to tweak them, but there's a lot of things that they don't tweak. I would say that. I know you're a football fan. You've heard this multiple times with the Patriots. In regards to their locker room, at one team said that it was below temperature in the locker room one time, and things of that nature. So Boston and New England as a whole, yes, I feel like there's times where they try to get a competitive edge. With this story here in the locker room, I can believe it. I can believe that the Celtics are trying to get an edge because I've heard certain things before, you know what I'm saying? We talk about the fans, you talk about the city. The fact that out of all the things that you can say about the arena, you're talking about a locker room, it has to be very, very interesting. I want to see what that locker room really looks like. Because I've never heard anybody in my 30 plus years of living talk about the Celtics locker room. I've heard everything else talked about but the locker.
What I've heard about Boston is the people. But shout out to Coach Lee. He says a real baller don't worry about that stuff.
That's a fact.
Right. And I mean, at the end of the day, hey, once again, I'm from New Orleans. If, all visiting places we went to, I made sure I found the exit, knew where the buses were, and had me some sneakers. I mean, because, you expect to go into a hostile environment, especially with your rival, what I'm saying? It's your rival school, your rival team, or anything. So, I mean, I don't expect, I don't understand what they want. Do they want a place where they got the TVs in the bathroom? I mean, what they want their urinals gold plated? What is it that they want?
They just saw a lot of people saw a lot of comments come from people that have lost in Boston. You realize that?
Okay.
Like people lose in Boston, all that, then that's when the comments come out. But other than that, you get a win in Boston, you're not really saying anything. So, but that's in all what they put Boston and New England on the pedestal of sports, when it comes to championships and things of that nature. That's probably what teams and these young guys coming into the NBA are being told and talked about. You know what I'm saying? Is Massachusetts in sports-wise, not the city, sports-wise, that, they win championships in
the teams are indicative of the sport. I mean, of the city. But shout out to Bayou. I see that D tapped in, man. So, yeah, that's his comment. He said the visitors are supposed to be treated like shit. I agree.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I agree on that. But it's like, what type of expectations that, I'm going to say this, they're expecting too much. And I might throw the NIL deal up in here because, what in the world, what are you expecting, these locker rooms to look like when they go there? So I don't understand that. But I'm going to ask you this. So, what do you think teams should have the advantage? You know what I'm saying? Like, we got the whole, of course we got the fans, but what else? Should the locker room, you know what I'm saying, be to the team's advantage? Like, not have towels or dirty toilets or what? What do you think?
All the above. I mean, I remember as a kid going into, going to the gyms with a visiting team, and we had to find a place that hopefully nobody of the opposite team, club members, anybody was at, so we can even discuss game plan and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, like you said, these NBA players got to be blessed to at least be in a locker room where you can sit down and change, and the coach can strategize the game for you. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that they got a hole in the wall where somebody's paying attention to you guys or eavesdropping. I just think in all.
Hold on. Stop the record. You just said something that, New England is known for, Spygate.
Spygate, yeah. I'm saying it's a New England thing. Spygating, you know what I'm saying? Celtics, you know what I'm saying? Locker room waiting. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Like, you just opened up a whole, so shout out to you, Coach Lee. He said pencil whipping. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how we do it down south. You know what I'm saying? We'll pencil whip you to death. Mm-hmm. But who in the world does with, like, I never even thought of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Boston is home of the Spygate. So y'all have, it's in y'all MO to do something in the locker rooms, let's say.
Hey, and Alex Cora was cheating. Bill Belichick and it was cheating. The Celtics, if they are cheating and not playing, they're not cheating good enough because they haven't won the championship in who knows how long.
Hey, well, I mean, wait, no. Who thought they actually made a nice run? So who thought they was going to do that with that team? So shout out to Darrell. He says, paint the opposite team locker room pink. That's funny. But hey, nowadays some people might like that, man. Like that might be the neutral color. Like, it might not even go well. But and he says, stop the Patriots slander.
I'm not talking no Patriots slander. I was asked questions and I'm answering them as a fearful, podcaster. I'm just answering the question, D.
Say after Spygate they went 8-1. Of course, I mean, because y'all got everybody.
Hold on. They went 18-1. So a team that was cheating with Spygate and then went 18-1. You got caught red-handed. I'm just saying.
Coach Lee, hey man, you try to get us turned off, so I'm gonna just post on there what you said. But I mean, he said after Spygate they went 18-1. I mean, of course, like you had everyone's playbook. I mean, like it doesn't take, you know what I'm saying? Like people just can't flip a switch and change things. Change things. What you call it? Change their playbook. But we'll see. But I mean, so Boston, y'all known for this cheating stuff, bro. Like, you know what? Like, let's put a pin on that. Like, you got Spygate. Now you got these people, complaining about the locker room. So I mean, like, that's what y'all do out there.
Well, I can't speak on this locker room mess. I just think it's two mid-level stars in the NBA. They don't really know what to talk about. So they both lost to the Celtics this season. They didn't want to talk about the Celtics locker room. You know what I'm saying? Pat Connaughton was a Buck. They lost to the Celtics in 7. Robinson was a Heat. They lost to the Celtics in 7. So I think at the end of the day, they just wanted to find something to talk about that wasn't already discussed with the Boston Celtics. So this locker room situation is going to be something that is only spoke about on that podcast. Nobody else is going to even talk about.
And you know what we say? That is some bullshit. Man, I love it. I'm telling you, I love that. Like, that really brightens my day, man. I'm telling you. But, man, we got this new, studio. Y'all should definitely check us out if y'all want to do some podcasts. If y'all want to do some photography, y'all come check us out. But, we got to pay some bills to keep the lights on. So, y'all sit back.
What's up, world? Kyrie Robinson, man. New Orleans Saints veteran. Hey, man, make sure you guys go check out my guy, man, STWF, the media, man. Check them guys out. Y'all want to get sports talks with players, with fans, anything like that, man, go check them guys out, man. That's the place to be if you want to talk sports. Who that nation?
And we are back with more of the O.T.S.B.S. show, the show where we talk about the bull sniggity in sports, man. So while we're on break, so Darrell says he says old school Boston Celtics locker room for the away team has been notoriously horrible.
He knows the truth, man.
So that's what y'all do, man. You know what? Like, all right, tomatoes, avocado. Everyone got their own thing. But
I also want to give a shout out to Beantown, man. On a phenomenal sports weekend, man. It was our annual Roxbury versus Dorchester game. Say shout out to Boston on the great event, as well as Crew Love, 10-year anniversary basketball event. Shout out to the Bean, man, this weekend, man, making all tons of noise. Drop the summer head up north, baby.
That was cute. Yeah. I don't know if I want to be known as a bean, because down here in Texas, a beaner is a Mexican. So they get out of here. But all right, I tried. So what we got up next is when too much is too much. When is too much too much? I guess that was about my joke. I mean, I was cut it out. It was kind of corny, but it sounded good in my head. But I tried. So what we got here is it's about Nick Saban. Nick Saban in the news. So Nick Saban loves soccer's regulation system as possible solution for CFB looming super conference problem. So some of the article read, it sure looks like the future of college football is super conferences. With the SEC and Big Ten beefing up their members, there's a lot of talk about where things are headed in the next 5 to 10 years. Alabama head coach Nick Saban spoke with Dan Patrick about the future of college football, super conferences, and expanding the SEC. What do you think about that? What do you think about these super conferences? Do you think that's a good thing?
I see a side of the light for the teams and the other conferences that necessarily don't get the love. But it just seems like Nick Saban, in his mind, or in others' mind, SEC Big Ten wise, seems like they're trying to eliminate them, trying to kick them out the door. And when he mentioned soccer, now we all know soccer. We all know how soccer's ran. Each country locks in, they have their own league, have their own joint teams. And that's it. You have your own championships and playoffs and do whatever nature. Only difference is these players can't go out to other leagues or other ventures and play. Nick Saban wants it all. Nick Saban wants it all. And he's happy to be in the SEC school, because if he was at another school, non-SEC, one of those low-tier conferences, he wouldn't have the same energy at all.
I'm surprised at how they got Nick Saban, spearheading all of this. He's, it's like he's the face of the, talking about NIL. He's talking about super conferences. It's just beyond me how they got Nick Saban leading the way for everything college sports, right? I mean, college football right now.
You know why they do, right? They try to make a blow bottom. They try to make a low down competition between him and Deion Sanders. We've seen Deion Sanders since he's took the helm at Jackson State talk, inspire ways that it can their conference can get better. And I feel like Nick Saban's they're trying to make Nick Saban into that boat on the other side, where it's like, we need a face, we need somebody to chat, we need somebody to talk about it.
Wait, hold on. So wait, what it sounds like is you saying that they're making, since Deion Sanders is the black face of college football, that they're trying to make a white face of college football? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Shut the front door.
Yes, they are.
Wow. And you know what? It wasn't until that point, until it translated to me. Hippie's like, wait, damn, you sure right, because they're always throwing shots at each other. They did commercials with each other. HBCU football is going through the roof. They're getting phenomenal funding right now. They just signed, Jackson State just signed a freaking plane deal with American Airlines for them to, they partner with them to be their football team. That's how they're going to fly out, American Airlines.
Yep, and peep this. The Big Ten just opted out their deal with ESPN, right? So they're trying to be on a bigger platform, other platforms that is. That doesn't open the room for HBCU. more games to be played on ESPN, figuring that ESPN is going to have to find somebody for it. I just feel like each of these actions have a reaction and a reason that they're happening.
That part I agree.
And I just feel with him saying this is just overall like you're trying to close somebody out. Rather you're trying to shut down the HBCUs out of this picture or the rest of the teams that don't have a chance at the end of the day to win it. Nick Saban wants something bigger.
I think something is bigger because right now you cannot stop the momentum of HBCU sports. You know what I'm saying, especially HBCU football. So I think what they're trying to do is create a big division between the competition. I mean, because if you get HBCU like with Hugh Jackson and at Grambling with prime time, Deion Sanders at Jackson State, they're going to continue to attract a lot more talent. And so with these super conferences, that's their way of saying, hey, there's a strict division between, college sports because of course the SEC is known for having, the fastest football games, having the best talent, the bigger players. So I think they're going to continue to attract more of the same. And with the super conferences, they're just going to open the door for people that could never get to the SEC. And with that, that's going to strengthen the HBCU football because they won't be able to make these super conferences. So I think that, that's a good path forward. And I've been paying attention to like a lot of these schools, like especially Grambling, they just signed a deal. I forgot the name of this network company, but they've been streaming their own games. So, they've been having these streaming services where you can actually stream their football games on their websites. And I think that's what's going to be the path forward because everyone knows about Texas Longhorn, their app, their TV, it is crazy. Then they got SEC TV, you can buy that. So I definitely think that, this is a cash cow that's coming, for us with college football.
Oh, yeah, definitely a cash cow coming in, college football. And now it turns over to other sports too. Football, as we know in college sports, you take college football over college basketball, anybody will. That's gonna go into the basketball side too. With all these teams moving into conferences. So now you got basketball where it's like they're gonna have to respect that conference move. And it's basically because of football. If football wasn't trying to join these teams in these conferences, they wouldn't be nothing to talk about. But now you have to think about it on everything. You have to think about all these college sports now as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
And what
right, true, because not finished?
Yep, I'm done.
Now I was saying because true, because college football, that sets the tone. That is the cash cow of college, college sports. So they're going to watch them model, any path forward. And so I definitely, like you say, it's going to start in there, and it's actually start, basketball next, with this NIL deal. But just these big changes to come, it's starting here. So Nick Saban, he says. So in this article, so right here we got Dan Patrick. Dan asked Coach Saban about how much is too much when it comes to SEC expansion and would the AFC NFC model used. Wait, hold on, that didn't sound right. So when it comes to the SEC expansion and would the AFC NFC model used by the NFL be good for college football? Coach Nick Saban doesn't have all the answers, but he did interestingly use the European soccer model for regulation as a potential fix. So that was a lot. What do you think about that? Do you think the AFC NFC model could be used, in the NFL could be used for college football?
Yeah, it absolutely could be used. I kind of feel like that's the way it's been. That's kind of the way it's been running anyway. Only difference is you have the point scale and everybody. I don't even know how they really come up with those rankings when they do a rankings for the college football playoff. In terms of percentages and the points and things like that. But it's kind of
that's always been a disaster. Like for a long time, everyone's always complained about their seeding in the playoffs. So it's kind of peculiar that they complain about the seeding and now they're shifting these conferences.
Yeah, so I just feel like with college football, it's kind of like, yeah, you can do that, but then it's kind of like you put those. It's difficult. You add all these schools for the revenue and the money, And
That part.
some schools are gonna regret this. Some schools are gonna regret this come down the road 10 years from now. Some schools are gonna regret doing this other change. You know, especially those teams leaving the Big 12. You know what I'm saying? Like when you dominated for so many years in all sports aspects, and a little bit of cream is like, okay, now we're gonna go over to joint ventures, maybe play games a little earlier, or 1 or 2 extra games in prime time. But at the end of the day, if you're losing, was it worth it?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, like, cause that, you know, when I was at ground, I think it was my first year at ground, we played Louisville Cardinal. Man, them guys was so damn huge. Them guys were way bigger than us. It felt like we had a high school team playing against an NFL team. And to your point, was it worth it? Man, them dudes ran the scoreboard up on us. Like, the only thing we had to say was like, you know what, our band was better than y'all. And that was because their band didn't show up. But, you know, to your point, you know, these, you know, once these smaller schools come into that bigger, you know, to that bigger pond, the competition, they might not be ready. And they're going to get washed up. So,
Oklahoma, Texas. Oh my God, I can't. Well, I mean, Oklahoma and Texas. One got to swim, one going to sink. I don't think both of those teams.
That's a big rival out here in Dallas, man. I'm telling you, you talk about that, man. They start really, really talking. But, you know, like at the end of the day, you know, we know college sports is right now, it's all about some money, about making some money. And, you know, me with college, it's about education first, not money. So to me, with all of these super conferences and all this money, we know it's all about NIL deal. They're making these super conferences so these college games can get aired more and more funding. It's all so damn man, I tell you, sniggity. Man, I tell you, but man, you know, that was a pretty good show. Like, you know, it was, I guess it's time for us to say our goodbyes, bid our dues. But it's time for shout outs. You got any shout outs?
Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody. I know where y'all be. And if you wasn't here tonight, tomorrow's another chance for you, man. Again, man, thanks for everybody commenting, showing love. And shout out to my family, man.
Oh man, that's nice and cute. You know, I want to shout out to my family too. You know, definitely would shout out to my baby Tasha, man, and my baby Indy. You know, Daddy be home soon, love y'all. But give a shout out to everybody that tapped in, man. That's a follow the brand. You know, that's supporting us because we support y'all. We're powered by fans, and we got a lot of good stuff coming up, man. So y'all stay tapped in. We got fantasy football coming up. You know, that's definitely a huge hit in our group. We got fantasy football parties down there at 4 Gents Cigar Lounge in Houston, Little J's Donuts, and more down there in New Orleans. Here at STWS Studios in Arlington, Texas, up the street from Dallas Cowboys Stadium. So y'all definitely stay tapped in because for details, and appreciate y'all for hanging out until tomorrow. We got the O.T.S.B.S show today. So that means tomorrow we got the Sports Chatter Show. And that's one of my favorites. That's a show we talk about all the trending topics, or the most trending topics in our group. So definitely give a shout out to y'all. Appreciate that. Until next time, we are gone.
Yes, sir. Have a good night, everybody. Take care.
Oh, that was nice. I can't find the outro. Let's get us out of here. Oh man, there we go.